Steve.
Steve? And is this your first record store?
This is our first record store, but it's the third version.
Third version. Okay, so I know you've been over there. Where was your first one?
In the other building, it was about 600 square feet in that. When I started collecting records, I did it with a vengeance, and I ended up with a lot of records.
And when was that?
2008, 2009, maybe.
Okay.
And so then I wanted new records. I had a ton of old records, but I wanted new records, new releases, and I couldn't get those in town here. So I started buying them. I made accounts. I started buying them, and I started selling online. And then between 2011 and 2014, we talked about opening the store. But it took us 3 years to get that going.
The first thing you got to do is you got to find a space, right? So we would just go on these drives, and we would be like looking in windows. You know, you see all these for lease signs. You see them now, and it's really kind of hard for us not to, peek and see what's going on. But
window shopping.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like window shopping. And so once we found the right location, at a price that we wanted to pay, kind of a thing, we decided, let's try it.
When you're in here, it's just like a little bit of a different world.
Right. Yeah.
When you're in a record store, it's going to be this one.
What are we doing?
And we don't want to lose that. That's something that we've really worked to create, and because it's community, right? And we hear about it, we use that word in other aspects of our life, right? But it really does mean something to us here.
You'll see people that love death metal, and they'll be in here shopping, and somebody else will like some current pop or older rock music, and it doesn't matter. They all have a common theme, and that's music, and they can get along, they can talk, they can share stories. And when you're in here, it's just like a little bit of a different world.
It's a very accepting place. It's a very chill kind of a place. And if you want to enlarge your knowledge, there's always people wandering around the record store that have a lot of knowledge. With listening to them talk about like the electronics, they're so, they rattle off the Yamaha, blah, 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 all the time, and they all know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm like, how do you remember all that?
Yeah.
I can't remember that kind of detail, but they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come in here and they get into these long, involved conversations, There's a lot of, actual work that goes on. People kind of have the idea that, we're just all sitting around talking about records. And although that does go on a lot, there's also a lot of work that has to happen too.
When we first opened, that was my idea, that I'd be sitting around in a nice chair, listening to music all day.
Friends would wander in.
And maybe people would come in and I'd sell a record or two. There was a lot more work involved.
Yeah.
But we're constantly looking at collections that people bring in, and buying collections and testing electronics and cleaning records and pricing records, and it's just every single day it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Trying to stay on top of that and make sure that you're getting all that product out can be pretty daunting.
Yeah. No, especially since it's such a small business. Are you three the only employees?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, currently.
Wow. That's insane. What's the most you've ever had?
I don't think we've ever had more than 3. But Alex's position at one point was our daughter was our employee.
Okay.
And she worked for us for a couple of years. And all of our kids, we have 4 kids, all of our kids have at one point or another worked in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say are the best parts of the job and the worst parts?
Oh, it's interesting. So the best parts of the job, I love our customer base. Okay, that's not empty words. I love the people that come to the record store. And they come from all walks of life. They have different agendas, and they have different loves and passions. Okay, but it's like when they step in here, they step into a different space, and people are just very generous. They're generous with their knowledge, they're generous with their time, they're generous to each other. I was really surprised on Record Store Day. Record Store Day is very competitive, okay? It's kind of grown into this little, I don't know, almost like a cult following. And I've seen people, they're out on the floor and everybody, they're after something, you know, and somebody will pick up the last of something and they're willing to give it to somebody else because they wanted it more, you know. And I'd love to see that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's something that's limited to 1,000 copies, and somebody grabs the last one. The next person behind will be like, is there any more? No. And they're like, you really want this? Yeah, I'll just hand it to him. Here you go. We saw that several times.
Wow.
We always do. So, yeah, our customers are fabulous.
My name is Alex Huff.
And when did you start working here?
I started working here part-time almost a year and a half ago now. And then when we were moving into this space, or it kind of first became available, they asked if I wanted to come on board full-time. And I gave it a lot of thought. I'm a vet tech. That's my, that was my career. And I worked right across the street there. And I would come over here on my lunch every day and hang out and buy records and got to know them. And like I said, worked part-time, and then I gave it a lot of thought. And so for 1 month now, I've been here full-time. Okay. And now I'm part-time as a vet tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switching career path.
Yeah, I mean, not many people get to have their hobby and their passion. Not many people can do that full-time.
Right.
And so I didn't want to regret not doing it, so I'm very happy with the move. And kind of like what you were saying before, everything has kind of led me up to here and now, and I just try to remain grateful for that because I am extremely happy on my day-to-day work. I love what I do. I wouldn't say it was a dream, but now it is a dream, and it's kind of cool. So.
Yeah.
But
it's like grown.
Right. I didn't grow up being like, man, I wish I worked at a record store.
Right.
Records were not a thing when I was growing up. So I grew up when cassettes were just coming out, just going out of style, and CDs were coming in. And then I grew up and went through the whole digital era and everything. And now I think part of the reason that vinyl appeals to me is, the sound is fantastic, but it's having something physical and tactile, something that you can touch and hold and something that you can actually own and keep. And it's the ritual of taking it off of my shelf. Every time I go into my music room where I have my collection, it's like going to Blockbuster. And it's like I get to actually look and select and take something out and put it on and listen to it from start to finish and everything. So that's the part of the appeal to me. And it's having it and owning it, and then when I put it in, I am more intentionally trying to listen to an album the way that the artist intended, which is, song 1 is followed by song 2 for a reason, and song 3 is followed, for a reason. Like they put it in order for a reason, and it's an art form, and I feel like I'm doing the artist like I'm giving them their credit that they are due by listening to an album fully.
And then I've noticed that you guys have a couple CDs from local artists here.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Do they just bring in their music and you sell it here, or?
Yeah, for the most part. Some of them we know personally, I'm quite good friends. You can check out, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to get on camera, come on in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really good friends with a few people from Sundog, and so when we're running low on their stuff and they have it, I just call them, and just by being here and kind of being the only record store in town and being one of the only independent places in town that deals with this type of music, a lot of artists come in and they just end up telling us who they are, and we get to know them and get their phone number, and if we need more, we just call them and ask. Yeah, and we love having local stuff here, absolutely. And people come from all over the world and come to Alaska, and they always are looking through our Alaska section. So the more we have, the better.
Were you here when Foo Fighters came here?
I didn't get to go.
Oh,
did not.
when they came in the store.
No, I was not here. I was not working that day. Yeah, I was not here for that day. But before I started working here, they knew that I was very excited about Atmosphere coming up. I really like Atmosphere. I have all their albums and everything. And I was working over there. And I don't think I was an employee yet here. But they had my phone number. And they called me and they said, guess who is here? And I left my job over there as a vet tech and ran across the street, and I just like nonchalantly walked in and, you know, started a conversation with them and got their autograph. And I had brought, or I don't know if they gave me an album or I had mine, but they signed my album for me and everything. And, you know, the Screaming Females came in here and I got to meet them. I was working that day. And yeah, it's kind of cool seeing these famous people and just having an honest conversation with them and not, you know, bombarding them asking for, you know, pictures or too much. But yeah, it's really fun. It's good to know, it's good for me to know that they're just everyday people making music and creating art, and that we get to enjoy. Yeah.
And what would you say is the best and worst parts about working here?
Best part is getting to. So when I was working as a vet tech over there, I would spend all of my free time researching music, like looking on Pitchfork every day and looking on Metacritic every day, and all the new stuff that they have, you know, rated and reviewed and all of that stuff. And now I just get to talk to people all day about that stuff, and that I am encouraged to do so, you know, and I just get to, my whole life is music now. You know, 24/7, I just get to think and talk, and now all of that, you know, useless knowledge is not useless anymore. Like it's my career now, is just music and everything music related. So none of that stuff that I had done previously, that all comes in handy now, knowing all those, you know, little facts about everything. So and the worst part about working here, can you guys step away? No, I'm just kidding. No, there is, I don't,
Just me.
okay, yeah. I don't know. The worst part, I guess, would be just the everyday, all the regular stuff that you just kind of have to do.
Right.
You know, just the cleaning of records and just kind of that monotonous stuff. But any job has that, and the fact that it's interspersed with getting to talk and chat about music and everything, I don't even notice that stuff, and it really, yeah. And the opportunities that we might have being in this new space, and the opportunities to grow and to, yeah, see where it all takes us. Yeah.
But stop by the store and take a look at the new store. It's really great.
Yeah, and we also have a website, obsessionrecords.com, where you can see all of the stuff that we're able to order.
Any personal album you would like to recommend to the audience?
This album right here. It just came out. Jessie Ware. She's amazing. Disco Revival. This is my favorite album that has come out in the last couple months, and it just came out like a week or two ago. Super upbeat, super fun, disco, funk, just fantastic listen from start to finish. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Of course.